Hello. My name is Nicholas Rivas, and I talk about politics and stuff. And today we're going to be talking about a multitude of topics, mainly the Supreme Court. Um, it's been back and forth of what's going on with the Supreme Court. There has been, of course, the Roe v. Wade overturn due to our conservative majority Supreme Court basically making it now that it's legal to have an abortion in the United States unless your state provisions it. Most states do not, and limit access entirely to abortions. I'm obviously in disagreement. I didn't want Roe v. Wade to be overturned. I'm very much pro-abortion. I consider it more pro-life than the pro-lifers themselves, because most of these people who are pro-life would look at somebody who is having a kid and be like, oh my God, they shouldn't have this kid, uh, given the circumstances, right? Like, they usually would be poor or grow up to be in a maybe gang-infested area, right? Like, it's the people they would look down upon in these pro-life senses. Not all of them. I know many of people who would say, well, I'm very glad that I have my life. Thank you for my mother for not getting an abortion. So it's a very nuanced topic, but ultimately it should be discussed with the doctor and the victim and the person. But that's not the main reason I want to talk about it, because just in the preceding days, the Supreme Court then made it so that they can elect a president if an election is needed of it. The Supreme Court basically wagered in to say, I'm looking to actual like integrity case, but the state's authority to overturn the election, that's been overturned. Basically, this case will basically give more power to the states in preventing people's rights to vote. So it's terrible, awful, and I've just been thinking of the Supreme Court itself and how they have this power and how did we get here. And I was arguing with people about this. I kept thinking to myself, 2016 is what would have changed this if Hillary was elected. I don't know if she would have gotten any picks, but she wouldn't have gotten there would be no people like Amy Cohen Barrett or the person who Obama couldn't get to pick, or Kavanaugh. Like there are these three Supreme Court picks that radically changed the world that we live in. And it was called. I remember when Trump left office, people were saying, experts were saying, like, this is going to be 20 years of conservative government. And we're already seeing it now. And so it's one of these things where I go, wow, it's another case for why I think Hillary, who I cannot stand, should have won the election. Why I feel comfortable with people like Biden, who I can't stand, winning his election because of Supreme Court picks like this, basically gutting the rights of people of color, women. It's just a ongoing conservative point of fucking with minorities and people in lacking of power within our current modern day world. So I said this to people and they were like, oh, what's funny how we live in this vacuum, how nothing happened before 2016. It all started there. And that's such a disingenuous thing to me, because I'm genuinely trying to figure out how we can avoid this, and people are like, we just need to burn down society. And it's like, I can't see that happening. So how do we fix this, right? I understand Obama could have codified Roe v. Wade, but I don't see a world where he's even relevant at this point. Like, people like Obama failed on many fronts, and I don't think we should ever elect a person like that again. But given the current battling we're going against, the Trumps, the DeSantises, I don't think we have much of a choice. Imagine if Romney was elected, we would have had more Supreme Court picks, right? I mean, because Obama had that one person, and I could have seen a world where, maybe, I don't know, it's just the thought that we shouldn't vote is scaring me, because the Democrats aren't making any sort of solid point for us to vote for them. They're most doing, like they've always done, is, hey, this guy sucks, right? Like, this is someone you don't want to win. And that's a shitty feeling, because we have people who are disenfranchised. They're going to lose with this track record of, let's just be better than the shittiest guy there, right? Like, the Conservative Party is very shitty. And so it's like, well, I'm not voting for them. But if you want me to get you to vote for Democrats, they are making it very hard to do that. So it's a very shitty situation we're in, and a very dire situation when the party that can have a layup on them. Like, it's so easy to dunk on the Republican Party to tell women, like, look, your rights are at risk, and yet we're still struggling to battle these fucking idiots. So, yeah, I don't know. It's me trying to figure out. I'm very glad to know that, you know, in Biden's case, there is one person I think going to be nominated. What was her name? Brown? It's not she Brown. So, yeah. I mean, it's a good feeling that we got that in, to know that we've kind of stopped the bleeding of this crazy Supreme Court world we're living in. But we're going to have more of it if the Democrats don't pick it up. We are fucked as a society if the Supreme Court continues this way. I mean, stuff like the filibuster has been blocking any sort of movements, and Democrats have done nothing. The, you know, split of Senate and House, like, you can't pass anything in the Senate. You know what's going to die in the Senate. That's just a shitty feeling. And it was the same political gridlock that happened with the Obama administration. So I'm not trying to take away blame from the Republicans, but they are too far gone. They are monsters. They all, I think it was like every single Republican voted against the price gouging of gas and the baby formula. So how do you work with these evil monsters? You don't. So I just know in a world we just shouldn't elect these people. They're monsters. Democrats might be lackluster, but they're not monsters. Well, most cases. I mean, Joe Manchin's and Cinemas, they're just pieces of shits, right? But yeah, it makes you feel very defeated and scared, and we definitely need a rehaul of our system, which isn't going to come anytime under a Republican president. So it just makes me more weigh onto the thought of, I don't want a Republican to win. I'm going to keep fighting for Democrats, even though I can't stand these idiots. And just have that pound for pound policy in our mind, like, hey, look, because of Trump, we've had these three Supreme Court people come in and basically, you know, radically change women's autonomy. Now you can argue that Hillary would have done nothing and she wouldn't have codified. I agree. Biden had every chance to codify as well. So I'm not trying to take any blame away from them, but damn, like, even just saying that makes me go like, fuck. Yeah, it's true. Biden could have codified it, and it makes me just so fucking disappointed and mad at them. Because now we have these women struggling, and a part of me is like, was he doing this? So, like, did he want this to happen, to say, like, hey guys, don't vote for Republican? But also now, I think forever, what's gonna scare people is, well, I voted for a Democrat and I still lost my autonomy. Now I know that's kind of a disingenuous question or argument, because obviously if we voted for a Democrat in 2016, this wouldn't have happened. But there were other moments and points where people felt disenfranchised by a Democrat president. So it's hard to sell this. It's very hard to sell all this. And I know it seems easy to some people, like to myself, like, no shit, I would never vote for a Republican if they continue with this track record and policy. But damn, Democrats are making it very hard for them to look good in the eyes of such an easy target. They're so idiotic. I mean, you have places like Florida that were just ravaged by COVID, and they still are like, the Democrats ruined the COVID responses. Like, there's no arguing with these people, right? Like, there's no reason to fuck with these, you know, radical conservatives. They are corrupted, and they don't care about you. And I wouldn't even say the Democrats give a fuck about either, but there's definitely, I can name a few Democrats who do and thoroughly care about the pound for pound policy issues. And I might not fully disagree with them, but at least there's some goddamn genuine, like, acts behind it. Like, I look at Elizabeth Warren and go, you know, I don't politically align with her on everything, but Jesus Christ, man, like, she actually did something against banks, you know, during her, what was she, a governor, a mayor? So yeah, so I'm going off a tangent. The Supreme Court needs a rehaul, and I can't see it if Trump wins, right? So yeah, I don't know what Biden has to do. I mean, I know what he has to do. He can step it up by giving us some good ass policy, maybe a UBI. People were loving him when he was getting the stimmies out. You know, canceling student debt. But Jesus, his stagnation right now is killing us. So yeah, it is what it is. Love you all. Y'all be safe. Have a good one. Yabba dabba doo.